It's been 2 years almost since my brother was murdered by APD. Before there was a Mike Brown, and there's no disrespect to their family, but before there was a Mike Brown, there was Nathaniel Sanders, there was Larry Jackson, there was Byron Carter. There's so many others out there that we don't get to see on the news every day. But right here in Austin, we are affected by it. So I just want to say that we appreciate everybody coming out, and we have to keep standing up for what is right. And we know that the things that have happened to our family is not right. The pain that it causes us, the pain that our parents feel, the pain that the children of the victims feel, is just not right. But thank you for your time, and thank you for coming out.
I bear witness that regardless to language or landmass, there is but one God. And it is becoming a time very fast that we are going to stop allowing these labels to separate and divide us. Because the bullets that are being fired from the weapons of those that are sworn to serve and protect, they don't have religious denominations on them. They don't have inscriptions on the side of these bullets that says that if you're a Christian, then we are aiming for you today, or if you're a Muslim, we're aiming for you today, or if you're a Jew, then we're aiming at you today. All they see is the darker people that are walking the city of Austin, or the city of Baltimore, or the city of Los Angeles, or the city of Atlanta and New York City. So we must continue to unite. And I would say this, that Nathaniel Sanders lives today. And because of what we see as an unfortunate incident or an unfortunate event, we are here today. We are here today to raise our voices, to raise our fists, to raise our minds, to raise our consciousness, to let our babies see and introduce them to a reality that we live in today so that we can prepare for our future. We are here today in recognition that our brother, our son, our nephew still lives today. Is that right? You should give yourself a round of applause for doing something for our own community that which no one would do. I would say this, that we gather together for foolishness a lot in our community. We spend lots of money on boxing match tickets. We spend lots of money on pay-per-view. And we wonder and we debate over what the fight of the century or the fight of the decade is. But I would have you to know that the fight of the century was not Ali versus Frazier. It was not Ali versus Foreman. It was not Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hagler Hearns, or the Hitman Hearns, I should say. It was not Mayweather versus Pacquiao. And although we wanted to feel the sense of pride of our city, and we wanted our city elevated in the eyes of the country, in the eyes of a sport that is brutal in some sense, but it feeds the desire to compete. And although we wanted to feel some pride of our city when Kirkland went down to Houston, Texas and fought Canelo, that was not the fight to give us and make us feel prideful of our city. But I'm here and I contend with everybody that's here today that the fight of the century, the fight of the decade, and the fight that will make us feel good about our city is the fight against oppression, the fight against supremacy, white supremacy, the fight against injustice, the fight for justice for all, freedom, justice, and equality for every man, every woman. But we have to continue to fight, and let's continue to join together. Nathaniel Sanders. I taught him for a particular period of time at my school. And that young, innocent, brilliant young man, to see the mugshots, to see his name being slandered in the media, not to see the graduation picture, not to see the basketball picture with that beautiful smile our young brother had with that beautiful black skin. It hurt my heart to continue to see a mugshot over and over again. But I will remind everybody that's listening today that this great nation was started on the backs of those that were criminals back in England. They were being oppressed and they wanted to come out from under their oppressors. So they sought to chart out a new path, a new course, and they came here and they began to do work and lay down the brush and erect huts, and they began to chart out a path for their own freedom, their own justice, and their own equality. So today's quote-unquote thug or today's quote-unquote criminal, today's smoker is tomorrow's president. Is that right? I don't think y'all heard what maybe y'all don't like what I'm saying, but to the young soldiers that are out here, to those that are still on the blacktop trying to figure out a way, and you don't have, because we're suffering from a disease called ADD, not attention deficit disorder, but absent daddy disorder. To those that are seeking a way out and you're really trying to figure your way in this lifetime, the greatest fight that we have is internally.
Yes, sir.
And if we can win the fight internally, then we can win the fight externally. But I say to you that your training ground is in your school. Your training ground is in your church. Your training ground is in your synagogue or your mosque. Your training ground is in the boys' club or the girls' club or any organization that's geared to train you and better you for the future. Your cut man or your trainer is your mother, father, your pastor, your priest. And we must listen and we must give right guidance. Is that right? Because I don't know about you. Some of you may be out here for your first or second time, but I was born and raised in Austin. It is a city that is lauded all over the country with low crime. So that's why when one of ours is slain, even if it's every 2 years, we come out and those that have no hope throw rocks, bust out police vehicle windows, right? Because I don't know if you know this, mom and dad, or big mama, the injustice that you face was passed down on a cellular level. And even though your sons or your daughters had never experienced the injustice that you experienced, not being able to walk on the same sidewalk with others, it's passed down. Your stress and your anxiety has been passed down on a cellular level. And those individuals that we refer to as thugs in the lost generation, we raised them. We raised them. We gave them the framework of the reality that they live in today. So I say to everyone, reach back, turn back, and pick up a lost brother, pick up a lost sister, pick up a lost baby. Go in and let us mentor, because we don't want to continue to have these kinds of gatherings. We want to have this gathering when they get their master's degree. We want to have this gathering when they get their PhD. Is that right? We want to have this kind of gathering when one comes from Walnut Creek apartments and they come back to the hood with their PhD, and the soldiers that are on the blacktop that haven't found their way yet, they protect their vehicle when they visit their big mother. They point them out to their friends and say, this is one of the ones that made it but did not forget us. Is that right? That's what we want to turn our community into. So I say to you today, we are grateful for the Sanders family. We are grateful for the Jackson family. We are grateful for all of the families, the Carter family. But this fight is not over.
Nathaniel Sanders II on his birthday, and again, like I said, Byron Carter Jr., Larry Jackson